Blue Lock Chapter 331 has finally released its official chapter with the match of Blue Lock versus France currently underway. As France opens the game with an early goal, what is Blue Lock's plan to counter going into the restart? Well, in today's video, I'll be going through the events of the latest chapter and giving you my thoughts and predictions as to how the events of this chapter could impact the rest of the story. Now, unlike my leaked videos, this video will only be containing high quality images and official translations. That way you can enjoy this series in its truest form through this video. So without further ado, let's just jump right into it. The chapter begins with the ball flying into the net as the stadium roars in celebration. The opening tagline to the chapter says, "The final stage begins. The one who seized control of the game and scored the decisive goal was..." The chapter is titled Chapter 331, Logic. Before the chapter actually begins, we get an apology from Nomura about the sketches for this chapter and the unfinished product we had, and he just essentially asked us to keep reading Blue Lock and keep enjoying it, and he just apologizes for the inconvenience. The announcer comments on the play as we see Ego sitting there in silence. A declaration of war, a rapid fire attack, a one-shot kill, a magnificent showing from France with their very first play. Charles Chevalier has seized the initiative. We see Charles jumping on Ugo's back as Loki is holding up a 1 with his hand as the stadium roars in excitement around them as the score of 0-1 in France's favor is shown on the panel. We get thoughts from Aiku, Nico, and Audio on the situation. Damn, France is insane. We totally fell for their ploy. That pattern wasn't in our data. Karasu jumps in. That speed, the cross run, that shot quality. We get a shot of Karasu replaying all of France's actions during the previous chapter. You can explain it logically, but that goal wouldn't have been possible without incredible skill and talent. This is the absurd might of our generation's top team, Loki's French team, the favorite to win. We see Loki standing there aura farming as Charles and Ugo are goofing off behind him. However, someone claps their hands to get Blue Lock back on track. It's revealed to be Reo, who speaks to the team. Let's chill. They made an experimental surprise attack, and there were aspects we couldn't respond to. What France really wants is to rattle us and throw us off our game. So cool down your brains, let's not lose our heads. Aiku fist bumps Reo. Right, nice mental management, brain boss Mikage. You got it. Bachira and Gagamaru agree. Thank you for the mental medicine. Totes. Isagi then walks over, agreeing with Reo. He's right, guys. This just started. We have plans for when we're a point behind. Just focus on playing soccer our way. We get comments from Hiyori, Chigiri, and Bachira. Okay, egoist. Yeah, we have Isagi. Just getting started. Isagi then chimes in again. Good. Don't panic, Blue Lock. Don't panic, Yoichi Isagi. Isagi taps the ball to Rin as the restart happens. Keep giving your best to secure victory. The commentators add some dialogue. Will Japan make a counterattack? Yoichi Isagi and Rin Itoshi are passing back and forth and charging right up the middle. We see that Rin and Isagi are exchanging one-touch passes back and forth, delivering a seamless break through France's midfield, even breaking past Loki. However, Charles comes over to press Rin. I saw that in your first match. You two make your way up and then make it so either of you could be the finisher, right? Another France player, revealed to be named Bats, comes over to assist Charles in a pincer attack. But Rin was expecting this. Box him in. We've already worked around this. He then sends a pass out to the wing, shocking Charles. Huh? On the right side? It's revealed that Chigiri is racing down the pitch and immediately sends a no decel cross towards the middle. Charles and Chigiri comment. Watch out for the speedster. We can go fast too. Direct cross. It appears that Reo is on the receiving end of the pass. Good tempo, princess. Nice groove. Reo then jumps high into the air, being pressured by 3 players in the process. Don't let him shoot, Hermes, Gaban yells. A 4th player begins to rush in, revealed to be named Hermes, who attempts to stop Reo. As expected. However, Reo begins to transform with his copy technique. Begin, copy. Model, I gotcha. Rensuke Kunigami. Ryo has copied Kunigami's aero dominance headbutt from the PXG game, hitting the ball with a headbutt surprising Gabon. What? He's setting up a shot instead of shooting? The ball lands towards Isagi, who is using his metavision towards the box. Nice groove, Ryo. All of a sudden, Ugo appears and matches up against Isagi as the ball continues to fly towards him. You've got a good team, Blue Lock. However, Yoichi Isagi. Ugo then begins to analyze Isagi's shooting weapon. Your two-gun thing only works when you're squaring off with an opponent and can fade in either direction, making your shot unpredictable. But if one were to charge you and close that gap, your movements can be totally nullified. Isagi is then forced to trap the ball with his chest as Ugo stares at him. Your weapon can be crushed by logic. Isagi begins to panic. This guy ran a simulation using my movements as data? Ugo continues, pressing Isagi. Yep, and that backwards volley you did against the Nigeria team can also be nullified through physical contact. As Ugo presses Isagi, Rin and Karasu rush over for support. Isagi, pass, over here. Isagi thanks them for their help. However, they soon get marked by opposing France players. Ugo then begins to drill into Isagi's psyche. If we block your helpers, you have nowhere to pass to. If we crush you, Blue Lock is dead in the water. This shakes Isagi's resolve. Or so you might think, because Isagi spins around, keeping Ugo from stealing the ball. Shut it, you logical asshole. I've made it this far by devouring arrogant creeps like you. I'm gonna risk it all to be number one. Ugo snarks back. But you're more suitable to be number two. This confuses Isagi. Huh? On the final page of the chapter, Ugo steals the ball away from Isagi. Say, do you believe in destiny? The closing tagline to the chapter says, a new prodigy from the new generation blocks the way. That thing called logic is what shackles his ego. No break next week. To be continued in chapter 332, The Theory of Suitable Destiny. And that was the chapter, and while it wasn't what I was expecting, it was a pretty enjoyable one. Before I get into my thoughts, I want to remind you guys that if you are enjoying this video so far, to leave me a like and subscribe down below to show your support for more Blue Lock content like this. Now, to begin, I really want to start with the celebration of Charles and Ugo. Despite Charles being this goofy and rowdy player that even annoys Loki sometimes, it seems like Ugo tolerates Charles and doesn't really mind his craziness. Maybe it's because Charles just scored a goal right now, so he's gonna suck it up, or maybe Ugo is just a nice kind of person. It would be nice to have another not a dick new generation 11, since Lorenzo is really the only other player in the new gens who doesn't have a bad behavior or personality. The next thing I want to bring up is Ryo's confidence for this chapter, because I am absolutely loving it. The NEL was where a lot of people fell off the Ryo support train, but with how he's been written recently, I'm really enjoying his character. I've always loved Ryo though, so to see everyone kind of flock together and support him again, I love this. Going into the counter by Blue Lock, I really love that they actually had some positive development moving into this counter. Rin and Isagi are working together like they did in Nigeria for a successful link-up play. Chigity's no D-cell cross got into the box. Hell, even Ryo's copying of Kunigami was insanely cool. Granted, it wasn't what I predicted when it came to Ryo's copying ability for Kunigami, so my predictions for his master copy aren't 100% anymore. But hey, 2 out of 3 ain't bad, right? Going into the matchup though of Ugo and Isagi, it was absolutely insane. When the pages were dropping, I was totally expecting Isagi to hit a direct shot like he did against Ness in Ubers. Plus, this situation really reminded me of the U20 Japan game with Sai, and considering how Ugo and Sai are kind of similar in appearance, I just kept getting those kinds of vibes. But the fact that Ugo was able to completely erase the 2-gun volley from Isagi's arsenal in this moment was insane. It does make me wonder though what the point of the 2-gun was then. Like, if the 2-gun can be disrupted with a simple tackle, then isn't that just the same issue Isagi had originally, to which he needed to make the 2-gun volley in the first place? I don't know, just feels a little redundant to me. But it is worthy to note that with this dialogue, it is essentially confirmed, at least to me, that Ugo is a talented learner. His obsession with logic and calculated actions, predictive ability, those all align with a talented learner. I knew he was going to be a talented learner since we first met him in chapter 326, and I'm just glad that my theory was confirmed. It's even more crazy though that Ugo was drilling into Isagi's anxieties. The exact thing that Isagi was worried about happening to Blue Lock Even HUGO has pointed it out, which, to be fair, is not the same in its entirety, since HUGO just means that the formation of Blue Lock and their plans are centered around Isagi, which is also not a new concept since the Nigeria team also discerned that Isagi was the core of Blue Lock in the last game. I wonder if this means though that Blue Lock might actually sub Isagi off, since he's being exposed as the person to crush if it means beating Blue Lock. And it does make sense in theory. Maybe this is also how Nagi returns and steals Blue Lock's spotlight away from Isagi, becoming the new focal point of this team. Or maybe not, anything to bring up Nagi in a video, I guess. As for my predictions for the next chapter, I really do believe it's going to be like focused on HUGO and Isagi and this kind of question that he was asked. Based on the questioning, I wonder if Isagi is going to bring up the god of soccer to him and ask him what his thoughts are on the subject. Overall though, I'm not entirely sure what's going to happen, but I am very excited. And with that, those were just my thoughts and predictions regarding Blue Lock chapter 331. Now, according to sources, we are not on a break week this week, so the leaks for the next chapter will be dropping around the usual time. Same thing for officials. But aside from that, I hope you guys did enjoy this video and will continue to enjoy in the future. I want to leave a final reminder to join my Discord server if you're ever interested in getting any more involved with our amazing community. As for the question of the video though, what would you rate Blue Lock chapter 331 on a scale of 1 to 10? Leave me your thoughts down below in the comment section. And like always, thank you all so much for watching. Like and subscribe to see more awesome Blue Lock content just like this.